Well, hi, everybody. You didn't get rid of me that easy. I know you thought I was gone. Finally got rid of that old lady. Well, she's back, just like a bad penny. So I hope you're all doing great out there, and I hope you're feeling good, and I hope you're getting through all this. Um, I don't even know what to talk about tonight. I know I'm going to read on. I think Trump's going to get arrested again. They won't keep him in jail, but they'll. I think he's going to get indicted sometime in with next week. 10 days at the most, I'd say. Yeah, it's coming. It's there. That's why they're leaking a little bit of this stuff out, trying to soften the blow to all of his fans when it happens. But even in my neighborhood, they're starting to rile up a little bit. I guess on Saturdays they're standing on Pomerado Road. Now, even in my area, they're standing out on Saturday mornings with their Trump flags on Pomerado Road where it goes into Carmel Mountain Shopping Center. Uh, I didn't know there was that many stupid people in this neighborhood, but I guess there is. And then right across the street from me, if you go the back way to town, you go through about 6 blocks is a houses. It's got signs up, flags, double flags in all their yards and backyards, and the yards on the hill up behind them. That's some of them say F Biden, and some of them say just Trump, and some of them with their American flag. I don't know. I thought when I left Imperial Valley and came to San Diego that I was going to leave the people who didn't have causation for cause and effect. What would you call it? People that could reason. I thought I'd come up here and everybody would be smarter and more alert to what was going on around them, but they're not. But this is an area that's full of people my age too, so maybe it's just that I'm not the normal for people my age. Who knows? But I would have swore that I was in friendlier territory. And only a couple of blocks from me, there are so many of these signs up in people's yards and backyards, front yards, if they've got a trailer parked out in back, which just sounds kind of trailer parky, but it's not. These are like RVs that probably the mothers or dads are living in or something like that. But it's a nice neighborhood, and I feel like if somebody dropped a match, maybe the whole thing would blow up. It's every time I see flags and people like that, it makes me afraid that they're violent, and maybe I'm just overreacting. I guess it could be overreacting. I don't know what it would be really. Maybe I'm underreacting. But I got some stuff here to read on, and I was going to badmouth the deal that the president made, but I'm not, because I don't want to make any more enemies. I will say that looks like Joe Manchin got what he wanted, like he always does. So anyway, what I'm going to read on first tonight is Mark Meadows. Is he a target or a witness? First, I was just really sure he was a witness, but you haven't heard anything about him going in and talking to people like you have the rest of them, and haven't heard nothing about him. So I'm thinking that maybe they're trying to get him for a witness, but they're going to make a target out of him, or threaten him with being a target. If he doesn't want to talk, well, you're a target, because he's definitely right in the middle of this stuff. So that's the first thing I'm gonna read on is Joe Manchin. I'm not Joe Manchin. Back in Joe Manchin again. Let me mark some stuff out once I mention it on here. I got a one-track mind for somebody my age. Mark Meadows, is he a target or a witness? So let's see if we can get an answer. I'm going to, instead of doing two different sides, one target and one witness, I'm going to try to do just a whole tree of him and see what comes up, because I haven't heard too much about him recently or whatever, anything personal. Every once in a while you hear something on the news about him. But I'm going to see what I can come up with. And I hadn't even gotten my cards out. That shows I've been in such a rush all day. There they are. No. Want my political cards. Okay, let's try this. Let's see. I haven't even touched this stuff for a while. Oh, and by the way, my name's Lynn. If you've never watched my channel, thank you for watching. And been doing this 50 years, maybe 60 years since, 60 years. And I've been into politics for 50 of those 60 years, so I was following them before I ever even thought about reading cards on it, because everybody was going to go crazy. But anyway, let's see what's going on here with Mark Meadows. He's going to be the first guy I'm going to draw on. Oh, and if anybody wants a personal reading, I'm all caught up. It's lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. Email me and put your phone number in there, and I'll get back with you, and we'll set you up with an appointment. lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. So, left my ATM card in the ATM machine downtown. Had to cancel it last night because I wasn't sure that I left it there or if I dropped it on the ground. It's always something, isn't it? But that, I'm not going to complain. That wasn't, I don't think it's going to be that hard to correct that stuff. I don't think I had very much hook to that. I know I had my Zelle hooked up to it, and I'll probably have to change it because it was put in there through the card instead of through the bank. But it's not like I'm got money coming in there all the time or something. It'll be fine. So, Mark Meadows, what's going on with you? Booger Bear Mark Meadows. It's almost too nice a thing to call him. That's what one of my ex-husband's girlfriends used to call him when she worked for us at the bar. Her little pet name for my husband. Anyway. Mark Meadows. Let's get your energy onto these cards. Phew. I want your energy onto these cards or not. Okay. Yes, I'll accept it. I asked for it and I will accept it. And thank you for coming through all my helpers. Yes, I did ask you to be here. Thank you. Mark Meadows. Are you a target? Are you a witness? But maybe this won't show. I might have to draw some more cards after this. I'm going to shuffle these and cut them one more time. Okay, I'm going to bring the microphone over here just a little bit. I don't know if I've got it over here far enough or not. Probably. At least. Let me tighten it up just a little bit so it stays up. So, okay, that should work right there. So I asked if you were a witness or a target. I think you're a target. Maybe target / witness if you decide you want to be a witness. But the signifier has you as a target. But they got wiggle room with you. If you don't give them what they want, you're definitely going to be a target. They still got play in their game. The one which I feel very much is Jack Smith that's coming after you. Are you going to tell them about the plan? Are you going to tell them how much you knew about it? Or are you going to be the target? This is saying the same thing, either a witness or a target. Here's the plan that you were in on. Nobody knew any more about it than you did. Look at this. That's what was going on during the resurrection. During the resurrection, listen to me. Definitely got news coming out on this right away. So whether you're the target or the witness, we're going to find out here pretty quick. I think we're going to find out news on at least on this case right away. We got the page in the sky. And boy, is this case together. This looks, this is Jack Smith. He's got everything together. Or his, maybe not him personally, but his office, what's going on, all these investigations. He's got all of his ducks in a row. And a bunch of them. And he's ready to go with it. Well, I think you're going to be in jail whether you're the witness or the target. Maybe if you're a good enough witness, they may lighten it or something, but this is in your 7th house. If you're not going to jail, you're sure as hell worried about going to jail, because that's what's on your mind. And you're not sure that even if you tell them everything that you're going to get out of this completely. It looks like you still might be doing about 1/10 of what you thought what everybody else is doing. The Democratic Party's overdue for this. We're all waiting. Everybody that's waiting for justice is waiting for justice right now. We're afraid still afraid we're not going to get justice. We all got standing on our toes with our teeth clenched, with our fingers crossed behind our backs, hoping that the DOJ is going to come through. My personal feed on this, from what I feel like is my guides and stuff, is I feel like Jack Smith is doing a hell of a job. And he's got all of his ducks in a row and he's ready to go with this. But in my gut feeling, and that's how I felt about Hillary getting in, on some level I knew she wasn't going in there, even the night of the election when it looked like she was way ahead. I kind of feel, I worry about Garland. I just worry about him. I don't know. I'll be the first to come on and apologize if he comes through like he should and does what he should be doing. But he's already put it off so long that I don't feel fully secure with him and what's going on with him, which is. But looky here, here's the Empress. Um, what's Russia doing in here for the outcome? Mother Russia. Something to do with Mark Meadows and Russia. Let's draw a clarifier over that. If he tells everything he knows, Jack Smith goes after him and stuff, and it's going to end up involving the administration. Yeah. Maybe this is what he uses to get out, where he's not doing 30 years in prison or something before this is all over. Here's him walking away from the bully right on top of the Russia card. So maybe he's got some information. I know this sounds silly, but I think he might have some information that nobody's even thought of. Something to do with connections, backroom deals, back connections, back communications. Between the Trump administration and all the other, maybe all the other people in Congress, who in the hell knows, those guys that went over there for the 4th of July. But whatever, it feels like this is going to come out through Mark Meadows. Whether it's him getting prosecuted for it or him spilling his guts to try to keep from going down so hard. But I think we're going to find out about it through him. That's what's going on with that. And I think this is a yes card. This is Jack Smith on top of it. So let's go back through here. I asked, was Mark Meadows the target or the witness? It started right out with the Emperor, which is the target. Even though he may not be the witness, they're still playing around with him being the witness so they can find out the plans and how this was all set up, because it would make it easier for them if he turns evidence. And he's thinking about turning evidence. Before, he knows he was in this so deep with Trump that even if he gives him evidence, he's not going to get out of it completely. But this is like him talking. This is like him spilling his guts. So, and this is Jack Smith with all of his ducks in a row, getting ready to go in there and actually do indictments. Wonder how quick this is going to be. We'll have to draw some more cards and see how quick. See if it's within the next 10 days or so. This is Mark Meadows worried about not being able to get out of this no matter what way he goes. He doesn't have too many avenues out. He's thinking that if he talks, it might help him a little bit. He might end up with 10% of whatever he thinks he's going to get if he doesn't say anything. He feels that Merrick Garland and Smith will go after him no matter what. And and he's wondering whether to talk about the administration's connection with Russia or not. But in the outcome, this is him separating him away. I feel like this is him becoming the witness, walking away from Trump, and this is Jack Smith with the goods. So I think he's both the target and the witness from these cards. But I think he might really talk if he thinks he can get his sentence lowered. There's a lot of people jumping ship. There's a lot of these people throwing their hat in the ring to run on the Republican side. They were just waiting, for the blood in the water, and there's blood in the water, and there's sharks. All the sharks are jumping in. So, so there's going to be some big changes in the next 6 weeks. I'm so tired of the corporate media going on like things are normal. And as long as they act like that, they're not doing nothing but helping take our nation down. It really upsets me for them to be doing these equivalency deals when there is no equivalency between fascism and democracy. With all their racism and stuff. It just drives me crazy. But anyway, I said that's why I haven't been doing readings, because I didn't want to come on and bitch for an hour to everybody or say things like that. So I'm going to try to be nice. So it looks like he's definitely going down. I don't think he's going to get quite as much jail time as the rest of them, because I do think he's going to give some really important information. I'm feeling like it might be the goods on Trump that would keep him from being able to run again. It may be truth that we were getting totally sold out. I don't know. Just like those documents that are missing. I don't know why the corporate media keeps going back and forth and acting like Donald Trump wouldn't sell them. Everything for his whole life is a negotiation for money. If they don't think he took those documents to sell them, then they all got shit for brains. So let's just put it that way. And that, I don't care what anybody says, that coffin was really, really heavy to have a little cremated vase in there. There's more in that coffin than the remains of Ivana Trump. That could have been where he took all those documents and sent them down there and buried them, because he knew that he was getting in, they were moving in close on him. But he didn't want to give them up because he thought he might use them to negotiate when everything went tits up. So that's what I'm thinking was going on with that. And I think if they really have people start talking, they're going to find out that there was something going on with that. Maybe even Ivanka would be the one talking about that, because that's when she got the maddest, was right after they buried her mom on the frickin' golf course. So she's angry about that, but she probably knows what's in there too. Or she probably suspects. If she don't know it, she damn sure suspects it. That's just how I feel about it. You can say I'm crazy or conspiracy or whatever you want to call me, but that's what I've always felt. Like that was his way of just doing stuff right in front of people, like he's always doing and getting away with. And I'm amazed that nobody's been to Bedminster to check it out, that they let it go this long. It just amazes the hell out of me. Anyway, I hope you're all doing good out there. Let me see what else we got here. God's been so long since I wrote some of this. I got Jared caught up. I don't know what in the hell that's about. Let me look at some of this stuff. I've never read on Ukraine. Let's see see if things are going to get better in Ukraine. I hope it's getting better. I hope with all my heart. Are things going to improve there? I'm just going to do 4 across. They've really appreciated the help from the rest of the world that's been coming in and started coming in right away. They're not only fiercely fighting for their country, there's some really nice people from Ukraine. I mean, not that years ago, and the only charity I ever gave to, because I never had much money to put out, but through Religious Science Church that I went to, when Russia was in their really big deal right after they fell apart and stuff, for like $60 or something, and this was through a lady that had went to our little church for years that was literally over there working with them, so I knew the money was going to them because she was actually making the trips back and forth with the people that were distributing the food. But for $60 a month, at that time, right after the Soviet Union went down and they, you could get cheese and milk and meat a couple of times a week for a family of 5 for $60 for 3 months. That would give them, for $60 a family of 5 for 90 days, that would get them cheese and milk and meat a couple of times, even to have meat a couple of times a week, right during their biggest deal. And because it was such a small organization that I was given this money to, they had the Russian people wrote letters to the people. You got letters back from, there was usually, it would show you like 5 different people that you might be helping with this or whatever. And the family actually wrote letters to me thanking me. And they wrote them in Russian, and you could see the letters in Russian, and then right next to them was the interpretation. And these people were so proud. They were ashamed of taking the money, but also grateful and amazed that people wanted to help them, and that were just sending money to them for that. So that gave me a different view. And they also sent pictures, so you seen the whole family. And like I said, I knew the lady in charge of the whole setup, so I also knew that the money was literally going there, and this was not some kind of, well, they didn't have an internet yet, then maybe they did, but it wasn't up like it is now. But it wasn't some kind of scam where you send your money off to UNICEF or whatever, and the people in charge end up with all the money. There wasn't that many people in charge. It was a real small deal. But anyway, it would always amaze me how nice these people were. And I not only got, I did it for about 3 or 4 different times for about a year and a half or so. And everybody was just so grateful. I mean, it was just, everybody was so, I couldn't believe how nice these people were. But anyway, this is Ukraine being thankful for the help that they've gotten, and amazed and actually, there are no accidents, and this was like a humanitarian something for the whole world. And bless their hearts, they're the ones that got everything, all their people killed and all their war in their country, but it was something, how everything in the universe has its time and its season, but it was something for the whole world. In the present, there's still some kind of blockage going on. I was hoping this thing was really close to being over. And the challenge, this has to be Putin. That's the challenge, is Putin, because he's batshit crazy. This is Ukraine going for it no matter what. They're not going to give up. They're taking that leap of faith. A lot of heartbroken people in that country. But they win. They definitely win. So this is the energy of the people working together and working with the rest of the world. This is being blocked by Putin himself right now. But the people don't give up, even though they're totally brokenhearted and have a lot of death and destruction in their nation. But this is them winning, and I think this is January. Winning in January. Or something coming to an end, some kind of agreement, something coming up. I've never read on Ukraine before, so anyway, that would be interesting. If that turns out, somebody let me know, because I'll forget, and I don't remember this stuff or keep track of what I say. But as far as I know, that's the first time I've ever read on Ukraine. Anyway, I had a friend that wanted me to see if McCarthy was going to get tossed out. Hi, Henry. How are you doing if you're watching this? He wanted me to see if McCarthy was going to get tossed out of his seat. We'll see. I'll just do 4 cards across to see. I don't want to spend very much time reading on that asshole. I don't even want to feel him around me, but we'll do a four card spread and see what's going on with McCarthy. See if he's going to get kicked out of his seat. True. Wow. I think it's a farce. I know, maybe I watch too much TYT, but I think that the Republicans are as happier with this bill than the Democrats are if they knew what was really in those 300 pages or 1,000 pages, whatever it is, something you could read in one night. It wasn't very many pages. So I think it goes back to the Kabuki theater they always play. They got a lot out of this, the Republicans did. I don't care what all the news media is saying. We're gonna be frozen for the next couple of years. It's gonna be the same as austerity. If you haven't really studied what's in all that stuff. But anyway, it's better than having the government shut down, I guess. The challenge is the Democrats. So maybe they won't be able, if they want to throw him out, it won't do any good because it looks like the Democrats might block him. Maybe the Democrats benefit from having an asshole idiot in there. Because this is the Democrats blocking it, even if they choose to throw him out. But here's Russia popping up there again. So I think I don't know which lawsuit's going to come through first, but I think that there may be some people from the Congress and from the Senate and stuff that gets from both sides that might get hooked up in this lawsuit if they really come after Trump. Here's Russia again. They got some goods on McCarthy, and he's involved in a lot more than a lot of people think. Whatever. He may end up being a witness because I asked about McCarthy. Here's the slow-moving energy coming toward getting him out of there. They were threatening to put him out of there. They're not as sad as they're pretending like they are, the Republicans, because they got a lot of what they wanted. But here's the Democrats actually keeping McCarthy in if they do go against him. Meanwhile, I think this is something to do with Jack Smith and all these investigations. Here's Mother Russia coming in again. I don't know why she keeps coming up no matter where I put her batting the death. Somebody's in a lot of trouble, and they know it already. Maybe that's why he's worked as good as he did on this. And they got some goods on him. They got some shit on him. Maybe that's how they got him to make a deal. Not only, this is not just, this is not the Republicans, this is the Democrats have got some stuff on him. He knows that they got him for something. So I think that from these cards, it looks like he might stay in there at least for a while, because even if they do try to throw him out, maybe the Democrats will block it. I know that sounds ridiculous, but we'll see. So, who got all these classified documents out of the White House? Did Trump carry a big box with him every time he went to his golf course, or every time he went to whatever? Those all got shipped at one time, I think, to Westminster when the heat came down on him. But who took him from the White House to Mar-a-Lago or whatever? Did he just take a boatload of them himself every time he left there, or what? So who took the documents out of the White House to start with? And that was a lot of damn documents that had been going on a long time. Who took them? Was it Trump, or was it, what's that guy, his Val Dresser? What they call those guys anymore. I started to say valedictorian, but his body man, or what's his name? God darn it, I had it written down there somewhere. I don't remember what page I had it on. I had so many of them. Oh, Walt Nauta. Let's just, okay, that's who we'll read on. We'll read on Walt Nauta and see if he's the one that helped get those documents out of there for the left while they were all getting taken out. I don't think he was his personal servant this whole time, but a lot of the time he was in there. So did Walt Nauta take those documents out to start with? Was he the one that was always in charge of getting them out of there? Let's just read on Walt Nauta and see. And this is on the documents. Please help us and give us anything useful and thankful in the light coming through on this. Walt Nauta. Was he the one that took him? I mean, if he took him because Trump ordered him to. So that would be a conspiracy with Trump to do it. But did he help? Was he the one that helped Trump get them all out of there? His valet, I guess is what you'd call him. Walt Nauta. He helped him move him to 2 different places. He was setting the plans up on how to do it without getting too much attention on it. It's going to end up backfiring on him. He's dead in the water. I think he's going to get pulled into some prosecution that's getting prosecuted by a woman. He definitely stepped out of anybody's comfort zone in the past doing this. Thought he's getting some kind of charge out of it. He was helping him make deals with Russia. No matter where I put this card, how many times I shuffle them or where I split it, here comes the Russia card. And I know we heard this from Rachel Maddow and everybody else till we were blue in the face and nothing ever came of it. But this is all leading back to, comes out every time. And here's Trump in cahoots with him. This is Trump and Russia. And that's coming out. This is in the near future. That's coming out. This is Walt Nauta thinks that maybe him and Trump would be getting out of the country if a push comes to shove. If everything goes tits up, maybe they have a plan to go to Saudi Arabia or something. Maybe he's going with him. This is justice already on top of them. This is the energy around them wanting to leave the country. When they know they're really screwed and really going to get everything but the kitchen sinks thrown at them, that they're going to try to get out of the country to get away from the law. I don't think it's going to work. Or if it does, or if they do get out, it's not going to work for them or something. Right under the Fool, we've got the Tower. And we got Justice right on top of them. So I was going to kind of read about Trump and see what he was doing, but this is in here thick together. This Walt Nauta Trump, he helped, it looks like he definitely helped him take a lot of this stuff to 2 different places, which was really stupid because it's going to end up getting him, putting an end to his life as he knows it. Some female prosecutors coming after him for that. Are some females telling on him, some female witness, could be a witness. Not a thought that, oh, I'm so cool, I'll just get away with this. It's fun, you know, like espionage, which I guess that's what you'd call what they were doing. Because you know damn well Trump was taking them to sell. Here we got Russia, probably sold some to Russia. This is Trump coming into the forefront, and this is in the near future. I said maybe in the next 10 days we're going to hear something about this. This is him really wondering about whether to leave town, and this is him and Nauta together because Justice is right on top of him, and they know the house is coming down, and here's Justice again. So, I was asking about the Nauta, but maybe it came in through the back door. I think this is Nauta and Trump together. I don't think I need to read on Trump because I think that's... I mean, how much more could that be? Justice, the Tower, the Law, the Chariot, the Devil, Russia, and the Fool, and the Death card. I never even noticed that. In 10 cards, 8 out of 10 are main arcana. These are people doing important things. This is big deal going on. And I'm hoping it's within the next 2 weeks because we got that. And this is some kind of female telling them where, giving testimony or something to how this was all put together. Either a female lawyer, judge, prosecutor, or a female witness, somebody. It's going to be some female that ends up putting the bow on top of that. So that's what's going on there. Good Lord, I can't. 8 main arcana coming out of 10 cards. That is really something. I mean, it's been like that almost for the last... I've been waiting for... Even when I read private cards for people, I can't believe how much their life's going to change. Everything's going to be changing, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. Say that much. There's a lot of... people out there that are just totally batshit crazy. I don't know how else to say it. Okay, we got I was going to read on Jack Smith and when is Trump going to jail, but I don't think I have to because I think that's already been answered. And then, under the radar, I don't know why I wrote that on there, but this is to do with Epstein. My friend, I don't know, some kind of video or something of the people's... of more records they're digging up of people that did business and was around Epstein, spent time on his island or whatever. And if they were at the island, you know they weren't there for the fun of it. Just like we all know that Clinton was there at one time, at least on the island. A couple of people said that they seen him sitting out on the front porch. And they weren't out there whittling. They were inside diddling. We know that. Shouldn't say that because it's gross, because to think of probably the age of the people they were frickin' with. And you can send me Don't send me any hate mail about that. I've been around a lot of men in my life. And another thing, I can't remember her name, but that crazy lady that was saying that Biden had her up against the wall in one of the halls in Congress or something. I bought into believing that because I've been seeing that kind of stuff so many times. And men that came in the bar that you wouldn't think would do something like that in 100 years. But you know where she's at now? She's in Russia with that Botina girl. So I think she was a Russian plant to try to keep Biden from getting in there. I think that was part of Russians' war on Biden for Trump. So I don't believe that. I don't believe what she had to say. She was a pretty damn good actress, but I don't believe it. And for 1 second, not knowing where she's at now and what she's doing. So that was the setup. So I want to apologize for saying I didn't think it was a setup. I know it's been a couple of years ago or whatever, more than that if he's been in office for 2 years. But I've just seen a lot of men, whatever, a lot of things go on over the years. Live a lot. Maybe it's just from having a long life and being exposed, for 38 years, seeing people at their worst almost. So somebody went far enough to say, when is Trump going to jail? Even if he gets indicted, he'll be in and out. We know that. I just want him to take his damn microphone away and his email and all that kind of crap. So I was trying to think. Let me go back. Oh, I didn't pull the cards. I was going to read on Epstein's. There's going to be a whole lot more information coming from the Epstein debacle. I'll just call it a debacle. It never, even when he should have been in jail for the next 50 years, he didn't even have to. He got unlocked every day. That all ought to be investigated again too. But anyway. It won't be, but there's information coming out. Let's see. The information Epstein had, is that going to come out? Is there a bunch more information coming out on him and what was going on with? And we're really going to skim this down and make people accountable. We got to make everybody accountable. So, and I'm sure that's going to come out on both sides. When it comes to the political guys, because that kind of crap doesn't have preferences, although it seems like there's a lot more Republicans involved in this shit when you see the arrests made and people having to leave office and that kind of stuff than Democrats. But let's see. Epstein, is there a bunch more stuff coming out on him? Yeah, right away. Look at this. Not only maybe they're going to bring it out to try to take the heat off Trump. I don't know if it would help or not, because I'm sure Trump's right in the middle of it. They were best buddies. But there's going to be a lot of something coming out. Look at this. This is saying yes, yes, yes. It's coming out more. They already, they got this information. They just been sitting on it. This is judicial sitting on it. It's going to make a lot of people sad. When the truth comes out about this, it's going to be heartbreaking for a lot of people, a lot of families. I feel like this was like a horse chomping on the bit. This has been wanting to come out into the light for so long. And it's going to end up putting people literally in jail, this looks like. Not just getting exposed, but literally getting more than exposure, maybe even jail time for it. There's a lot of bickering going on about this. Just in the recent future, we're going to hear a lot of people arguing one way or the other how much of this stuff to let out. And this is going to be about all the old men and the young boys and girls. And it's going to be the death of a lot of careers and maybe even people. There might even be some suicide or something going on there if this stuff comes out in full measure. Getting some pretty big cards here, even after burying them all. We're getting main arcana. It's like the High Priestess. And I think this goes up further, this particular card, where it's at right now. This is in the hopes and fears. They're wondering how much of this needs to come out or how much of it doesn't, or they can't stop stuff like this unless they put it out in the light. So this is like maybe exposing half of it instead of all of it. But whatever it is, it's going to make people happy in the long run. Once it comes out, it's going to make people feel good. So that's what seems to be happening there. So I don't know. This is the news coming out. I asked if it was going to get exposed, and the law already knows about it. It's going to break a lot of people's hearts. They've been kind of chomping at the bit to get it out there for quite a while, but they thought they needed to save it back for something. Some people probably be in jail for it. And this is them arguing about how much to put out and how quick to put it out. And it's definitely sexual. And it's definitely going to be the death of a lot of people as we know it. Maybe not literal death, but careers and stuff. And this is the High Priestess coming through but only, still we're never going to know it all. It's not all going to get exposed, only half of it. But it's going to be enough to make the people feel better, make the people feel like there was some justice done. So that's a sad thing to end this on, or maybe not a sad thing, I don't know. I know he didn't kill himself, and I know, whatever, in my own heart, I feel like he didn't kill himself. I never have felt like that. And people like him don't even have the nerve to do something like that, I don't think. But, not that it takes nerve to do, you know what I mean. It's amazing. Barr goes to see him, and he gets a female lawyer sent in, and then the next day he's dead. Some kind of deal was made. I don't know. Maybe he was ready to tell everything about then, and they just told him, if you wait, we'll send somebody in for you to do. And then they killed him before he could say anything. I don't know. But anyway, there's some stuff, going to be a lot of stuff coming out about that too. And you know what? Maybe they were getting ready for everything to break on our politics so deep down to push this out at the same time, because people are so overbogged with information right now on everything. Depends on which sensationalism takes over the other. Maybe they think it's going to take their eyes off Donald Trump, but I would be very amazed if he wasn't right in the middle of this. But it looks like everything's not going to get exposed. So, but anyway. And then I just heard that that Melania is negotiating another prenup, just for like if he gets the presidency or whatever, if he's going to keep running or something, whether she's going to support him or not, he's got to change the prenup. So that's interesting. The life of the rich, huh? Anyway, I want to thank anybody that's still watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it wasn't too downbeat. That's why I haven't wanted to read, because I thought if I can't go on and cheer people up, I don't know if I want to do this or not. But I'm glad I decided to do it, and I want to thank you for watching. And remember, if you want a reading, it's lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. And put your phone number in there. Namaste.